All right, ladies and gentlemen, so once you have your trials all completed and your data is in Excel, your name should be filled in with your partner names, your problem statement should be filled in, your hypothesis should be filled in, and all of your data should be ready. Once your data is in this table, we're going to turn that into a graph. So I'm going to click right here in cell A9, and I'm going to highlight all of my 10 trials with my labels over here. Once I have all this highlighted, not the averages, we're not going to highlight the averages. Once I have all this highlighted, we're going to go up here into your ribbons and click on the insert ribbon. Over here in the charts, we've got this crisscross line graph, and we are going to hit that little drop down arrow so that we can see the different kinds of line graphs. And if you see back behind this pop-up menu, you can see a little bit of what's going on. So I'm going to pick, what's the difference between these two? Line with markers and stacked line with markers. So let's just do, the stacked line with markers. Let's click on this. And now up here we have some different chart style options. So we can kind of hover over these to see what they look like. I think these data points showing us what's going on are going to work best. Now we can go to quick layout. Over here there's a button that says quick layout, and we're going to add some labels. We want to be able to put labels on our axes. So this we can hover over these different options and see what's going on. And let's pick this one right here. It gives us labels for both axes. Either one of these two graphs would be great. I like this one better because it has a chart title. So I'm going to click on this chart. You see my mouse looks like that four-way arrow. I'm going to move my chart over here. I'm going to move my chart over here so I can still see it. Down here in Excel where it says 100%, I'm going to click this minus sign, so I'm going to zoom out a little bit and I can see my chart a little bit better. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. Undo. I'm going to move my chart up to the top so I can see it. And now I'm going to double click on this axis title and I'm going to highlight it. This axis is this is your dependent variables. So your dependent variable in this study is respiratory rate. Your y-axis should always be your dependent variable. And down here where your trials are, those were your independent variables. And if you notice, they're already labeled by trial, so we can just delete this axis title. We don't really need that there. Now, your chart is pretty much finished. So your chart's ready to go. You can see everything graphed. And what you'll notice is that your orange line, your post-burpee respiratory rate, is always above your resting respiratory rate. Does that make sense? Probably, yeah. Probably makes sense that your respiratory rate is increased after you do some burpees. So you'll talk about that in your conclusion questions. So once you have this chart made, you'll take a snip of it. Remember how to use the snipping tool. You type snip down here in your search bar, open up that tool, click new, move this out of your way, take a snip of your chart, and then you will copy this chart and paste it into Teams. And then you will finish answering those conclusion questions. So that is how to turn a table of data into a chart. Good job, guys.